this pack is getting kind of heavy.
So you factor that into your calculations. And it sounds like a push, at least in terms of time. Now, in terms of money, yeah, you've already spent the money on the bike, so you might as well you can get your value there. But I don't imagine the Barcelona Metro is that expensive. You were a sardine yesterday because we only want to wait 2 minutes for the next train. Yeah, I know that feeling. It's rare when I'm on the Hong Kong Metro and I don't feel like a sardine. Although, in fairness, that is partly because when I take it, more often than not, it is during the morning or the evening rush hour. So that is to be expected in a city of 7-odd million people. In the metro, you need to take the tram, then the metro, then get off that one, then walk to another metro, and then walk 10 to 15 minutes where you're going. Okay, okay. I mean, I appreciate you laying out the formulation there, Goofy. But again, the biggest thing is, what are you prepared to do? What are you prepared to endure? Okay. We have recently killed Kool-Aid Bear, so we don't have that to worry about. Unfortunately, there is the other bear on the far end of the zone, which we have not dealt with. You think you're going to take the bike and hope you don't hit a tourist? Well, if you do hit a tourist, I imagine the Barcelona locals might give you a medal. Because the turistas are not that popular, I hear. Okay. Yeah, as we do this commute, you will see me just turning around every so often. You're doing a crazy Ivan. So because we are as stinky as we are, only two, but still, two is more than one or none. So I am a little afeared of getting snuck up on by the local wildlife. Yeah, there's the remains of Kool-Aid Bear. So far seems okay, but I know I walked past at least one Aurora wolf last time we came through here, so we have that to look forward to. Now we can just keep those sight lines nice and clear. We can at least intercept whatever comes our way. Although, now that I think about it, once we're through Broken Railroad, we're kind of in the clear. Because, well, no, okay, there's the one wolf down, like, the lower bit of the far range branch line. There's that one, which I can't remember if we dealt with that one or not. There was the one by that, by those other train cars before you get to that final long tunnel, but I know we killed that one. So there's a, yeah, 'cause what we're going to do, we're taking these as far as transfer pass. We're going to leave them in front of the depot. And then we'll do some advanced scouting in the Zoc itself. Because like well, okay, advanced scouting and advanced killing. Because we still, like the one, well, we need to make the last 11 pies, Briarhouse pies, but also, we also need to get together a whole mess of firewood and make water for our stay. Because I don't want to be doing that in the mine, because that'll be, yeah, the time we spend passing making water is time we could spend sleeping. So what I'm thinking is we clear a path, we kill all the toxic wolves basically between the entrance and the mine. Gather a whole mess of firewood. We make water outside so we can maximize our outdoor time and delay cabin fever as much as possible. And we need like, what, 50? Yeah, it's like 2 liters a day times 25 days. That's 50 liters. Oh, and then some of that we're going to need to turn into, well, birch bark tea and or coffee. Excuse me. I don't have a whole lot of coffee. I like 2 tins, I think. Something like that. But, couple, say we got like a dozen coffees, like 3 go juices. Every little bit helps. You don't want to go downtown? Well, unless you can get whatever you ordered delivered right to your door, I think you're kind of stuck. Oh, I see a couple meat-seeking missiles back there. Yeah, they're trying to be all sneaky, but as long as we don't get interrupted, I think we're going to get out the zone before they can catch up to us. Yep, there's one right there. And, of course, the wind is blowing directly in our face because it's the long dark, and that's what we do here. It's sunny, so it shouldn't be too crowded. Okay, well, there you go. That's something in that's a positive. Ice. Yes, I took that crackling ice as a sign that, something was going across it, but no, that's just me and my paranoia talking. All right, all right. Like you're like having to pick something up you ordered yourself. Well, it's hey, if nothing else, Goofy, it'll be a nice little break from your focus on your studies, and get out, stretch your legs, breathe fresh air, and get whatever it is, and you can come back and then start all over again.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
You cannot. I refuse. All right, yeah, that's one zone down. Now, okay, there is the chance that wolf that's in that little the sunken area off to the right of the landslide, it might come up and say hello. So we can't totally switch off. Barcelona, the air is fresh. Oh well, comparatively speaking, versus the air circulating in your apartment. There, well, lightens Astrid's load thusly. I Game is trolling me, keeping the wind in my face across multiple zones. But then again, I made the rookie mistake of actually saying where I wanted to go, and we all know Raph is listening. I don't know how he has. Well, no, he has time on his hands now because Hinterland has shipped episode 5. Like, no more changes are possible, at least according to the dev diary. But yeah, episode 5, just 9 short days away. And then all our questions will be answered, and I'm sure every single plot thread will be tied up into a neat little bow with no lingering questions whatsoever. I know. It's fine. Honestly, just the fact that we're getting it, whatever, 5 years after episode 4, whatever it is, I'm happy to have it. And if they pull it off, if this is in fact the best thing they've made so far, great. And if it isn't, hey, We made it. You know, we all, again, the game has been out for almost a decade now, and we got there. You know, well, and yeah, and that's the thing, Ellie. Especially for people for whom story mode is their favorite part of TLD. It is going to be very much. How do you measure up to almost a decade of expectations? That's a lot. That's a I'm not sure how you do that, because I mean I know there are people who they saw when the game first came out and said, "Oh, that looks cool. I'll check back in when the game is done." And then, like, to those of us who play, primarily play sandbox mode, that sounds weird. Because, like, I mean, what do we have here if not a feature complete game? And story mode is just the cherry on top for us. You're excited? Oh yeah, and there's definitely reason to be excited. Just if nothing else, like the prospect of finding out just what the hell is going on, and like what is Methuselah talking about? Because that's probably something Will and Astrid want to know too. Well, Will does. Astrid hasn't met Methuselah, unfortunately. You say that they're going to be poorly. Yeah, and there's going to be that pretty clear split. It's almost nailed on between people who have been waiting for story mode to be complete and consider story mode to be, quote, the game, end quote, and those of us who have been here for, the best part of a decade, and not denigrating those who do enjoy story mode and want story mode, but we know the game has so much more to offer beyond Wintermute. And, best case scenario, people who have been focused on story mode, they get that completion and they say, okay, what else does TLD have to offer? And then we can open our arms and say, oh, we have such sights to show you. What's more likely to happen? Well, gamers get upset. They review bomb it. And so they say, I waited a decade for this, meh. And it's a whole thing. And then someone will call the game woke because there's a black lady in it, and then discourse will happen. Wintermute doesn't get you to 100 hours of playtime. Well, yeah. I can speak to that. Like you don't. Even if you are a completionist and you do every single side quest, it's get you like 50, 60 hours maybe. Okay, is that a wolf across the way? I think that's a wolf across the way. That is a wolf across the way. What you gonna do about it there, bud? Oh, what's the matter? You stuck? Are you locked in place? Let me see if I can help you with that. Don't care. Well, no, that mole's probably going to go get that bun anyway, so it's fine. Yep. And Rabbi, yeah, Raph will he'll hop on the forums and he'll do his usual thing, and maybe he'll make some blue sky posts, but again, the greater gaming ecosystem is going to do what it's going to do. Your other people play maybe 2-3 times. No, you still be playing TLD. True. Like I've done like one playthrough, one initial playthrough, and then like, what was it? November, December. I did another one. Expecting.
Carry much more.
Yeah, I expected Hinterland to stick to their December release window, and oops. But it's fine. It's fine. Oh, here we go. I was going to bust out the storm lantern, but let's... How many torches do I have? I got a few. But yeah, it's... And maybe that's something we, as like the more... Like the people who have been in the community and around the game for longer, maybe that's something we can do. And if you see people who are story mode only and say, hey, if you dug that, check out the in-game challenges, check out sandbox mode. There's a lot more to like. Because rather than saying, you're playing TLD the wrong way, which no one should be doing. But we can be positive advocates for this game we all enjoy. Did you like it better the second time around? Thank Rose, more playthrough. I will say I think I got more out of it because this time I actually knew what I was doing. Are you gonna head downtown? Okay. Have a safe trip, Goofy. Remember your helmet. But yeah, my first Wintermute playthrough was my first TLD experience, so I was still getting to grips with the mechanics and whatnot. So I think I was at least as focused on that as like the storyline and the game. Second time around, I know how to operate. I know how to live in the world. So I was able to be more story focused and chase down all the lore, do all the side quests. So yeah, I would say I definitely got more out of the second playthrough. But again, that was me playing TLD in 2019 versus me playing TLD in late 2025. And like me with 0 hours of TLD versus me with like 1,300 hours of TLD. You always wear the helmet? Good. I am one of those players. Oh, like starting in story mode. Yeah. Because and it's like I keep telling folks. Excuse me. Yeah, story mode is the closest thing TLD has to a tutorial. So it makes all kinds of sense that if you're gonna start out, start out in the more forgiving game mode, and the only game mode that lets you save whenever you want and reload. Take shortcut and shortcut. Okay. Doggo? Where is Doggo? You started playing in 2014, so you had years of survival first. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Winter Moves the Veg. Agreed. Yeah, definitely. There's more loot. The weather's gentler. Plus, being able to save. You can die and not lose an entire run. I mean, it's tailor-made for people who are new to the game. And not just folks who want to focus on the story. So, yeah, absolutely. Okay. I'm making a mental note of this bun here. In case we're short. You get a little pushback from older players. People for saying people shots are right because it wasn't well received. I mean, I guess I can kind of see why people might think that. But again, the game is different right now. Like the game has gone through more versions, more updates, and like 2026 story mode is not it's not 2017 story mode. And I think if we ignore that, we do the game a disservice. You always get, yeah, but survival. I mean, again, survival is nice, but it's what most of us play. But we have to we have to remember, we have the perspective of veteran TLD players. We're so far removed from the new player experience that we might forget what it's like not to be familiar with all the mechanics. And survival mode doesn't tell you shit. Okay, quick. Okay, that's enough sticks. Okay. Oh, Ellie, I don't know if you were in Ad Realm, but yeah, I get that, and I understand why people might think survival sandbox mode is the best, but as I was saying, we have to remember not everyone knows all the ins and outs. Like not
I wonder if I can drop
everyone doesn't know the torch trick. You were okay, yeah. Again, just as in agreement, because if people like us, like the diehards, the sickos, we are so far removed from the new player experience that it's not that our perspective isn't valid, but we have to remember we know a ton of stuff that people who are just picking up TLD for the first time aren't going to know. And Sandbox just does not tell you anything. Granted, the story doesn't tell you a whole lot, but it tells you some stuff. You just learned the torch trick this year. Oh, there you go. And you know, even people who have been playing for years and years, we're still learning new stuff. So imagine how much what that must feel like to someone who is, you know, fresh to TLD, and when they ask, hey, how do I get better? And if people tell you, well, learn the maps, it's like, what's this? That's like a years long process. Like, is that like the barrier to entry we want people who are just picking up TLD to look at? I don't think so. I understand, like, from a 30,000-foot view, yes, the best thing you can do to improve your survival chances is learn the maps. But if you tell someone who's been, you know, dinking around in episode 1 for 5 hours and say, learn the maps, like how hard they're going to think, how hardcore do I need to be to enjoy this game? Okay. You're coming with me, bud.
Too heavy to carry.
Now I say, exactly. Some people do, and that's awesome. Some people they want to experience the world. They're not veteran survival players, or they're drawn in by the art style. Where? Are you? Oh, you're on the other side of the tracks, probably. All right, hang on, hang on. There you are. You son of a biscuit. That's mine. Not yours. Mine. Take my food, I take yours. Okay. There's something you can't learn in Pilgrim as opposed to new player mode. Yeah, because in the game it will not tell you.
Nobody needs this anymore.
Okay, good. Well, you still got a kilo of meat. That's what we want. And here, let me. Okay. Drop you there. Yeah, I was. Well, we're gonna eat him. We're gonna save the rabbits for potential pies. But yeah, it's too. Are we wind blocked? No. Okay, we are wind blocked here. That is good enough. Oh, it's my last torch. Okay, well, let's take care of it then. Wait. Okay, just making sure I can actually start a fire there.
Come on, little fire. Come on.
There we go. And did the wind immediately change direction? Not sure. Let's try to make this work. Okay. Now, good. Okay, we're cutting it a little close. We do have cattails, if worse comes to worse, but I'd rather not dip into those.
Oh, I've never been so hungry in my life.
That's a lie, and you know it. Okay, where are we? I got less than 200 calories.
The sun is setting. Gonna get a lot colder soon.
5, 11. Okay, I cut that entirely too close. But we're fine. We're so very fine, in fact. Oh, you're not very big, are you? Okay, we'll just grab the whole thing. And the nice thing is, the coast should be clear between here and Transfer Pass.
I'm not gonna be able to carry this load for much longer.
Okay, now drop you, and you. I don't think we're gonna need fat for anything.
That guy who drank his own pee doesn't seem so crazy.
Shh. Astrid, shh. Okay, 35, 35. Drinking pee will never not sound crazy. It's a judgment call, but I'm making it. No, okay, leave that. We'll grab the guts. Okay, good, and good. And then you, and then you. Perfect. Yeah, well, Astrid's situational awareness isn't always what it should be. Let's say. There we go. And you're all ready to go. Perfect. You got 30 minutes, which means you can give me a half a liter of water. You're almost there. You can do the same. Okay. So that's there. How much for water? Enough. Right. Bun buns. I can use it. Yeah, especially when it's like it's a either with like rabbit carcasses
Barely
or
walked with this much gear.
like deer quarters or like animal quarters that she just created. Like, oh, I wonder if the owner's around. Psst, Astrid, you're the owner.
I'm getting tired.
Okay. Do we just go? Or do we say camp out in that cave over there and then go on the morrow? Oh, that's a very good torch. Well done, Astrid. Yeah, you know what? It's not like we're in a hurry. So we're just gonna have our girl trudge her way up the slope here. And pick up sticks along the way because, oh god, the poor people who are going to be new to TLD and then hearing players say, "Oh, if you want to be a good player, you pick up every stick you see," and they're going to say, "Oh, I guess I better do that." Okay, so no, we not eat, we drop. Keep those, drop those, drop those, drop those, and keep those. Hey, Tina, welcome in. Good to see you. Oh, now she's zippy. I see how it is. You're gonna lurk, but you want to say hi? Oh, well, appreciate the lurk, Tina. Thank you for just dropping by. Actually, I've been neglecting to do this. Excuse me. I just give a couple proper welcomes while we're here.
D&D chat, but somebody like in RP appreciation later was like, I really liked those two aggressively Italian guys because Heath and I were doing characters together.
All right. But good to see you, Tina. Hope you're doing well. And the weekend's treating you all right?
That means that that things are looking better with my health. So
awesome. That would be awesome. Okay.
yeah.
I'm sitting here waiting for it to craft some stuff when I can just pull over some stuff that's already crafted. And I was going to say the other thing we can do, less than once a month.
Oh my god. I'll never hear the end of my
No
hiatus. Never.
Almighty, I'm glad you're feeling better than you were. Sending you big hugs, and I hope it keeps getting better. Sweet is amazing at fixing all. Oh, okay. I just now caught that. Sweet is amazing at fixing all problems but her own.
Backhanded compliment. Jesus.
You know, I should have read the whole thing before I started the agreeing with it. I'm sorry.
Play one. Yeah. Once Human was a while ago. All right, there we go. Yeah, just read chat. What could go wrong? Not like chat would place messages that would get the streamer in trouble. When has that ever happened? Okay. Grab all those. Exactly, Tina. Never ever. All right, there's another Bun out there. Oh, I didn't go pick up my rock, did I? Well, yeah, we got more Briar House pies in our future, so I'd rather have and not need than the other way around.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Hey, excuse me? What the hell? There's an invisible wall right here. So the stone can pass through, but I'm walking up against something. Oh, that's weird. Well, again, you know, quadruple digit hours in TLD, and we're still finding new stuff. Yeah, I don't really, this is a place you pass through, not necessarily a place you linger. So I had not tested the bounds of this particular, the far range branch line. So it was educational. Okay, I am just gonna grab as much of you as I can, as quick as I can, and then we will ski-daddle. Awesome. Grab our many, many pies. And we are now 15 kilos overweight, which is
This pack
admittedly
is getting too heavy to carry.
not ideal, but it's fine. We just got to get through one tunnel and then walk through like half a transfer pass. We'll be at the depot, and we can offload our burden. Yep. Assuming we don't see any new buns or ptarmigans, but I think the chances of those are far lower. Don't pick up the stick. 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 Yeah, at the rate we're moving, we might be to the depot by nightfall. That's okay. Because I was initially planning to need 2 trips to take all of our pies and our pemmican, between camp office and transfer pass. But as long as you kill everything in your path, there's not really much to stop you. Right. I gotta remind myself. Okay, so we get there, we drop all the food outside to preserve condition. Not that it matters, we have cooking 5, but still. Then I want a count of each kind of meat we have. what's our target? 11 pies. 11 Briar House pies. So we need 5.5 kilos of ptarmigan, rabbit, and venison. We're probably good, but we'll see. Oh, we'll also need just a count of. Oh my God. Oh wow, okay. It was coming straight at me and I whiffed. Good job, meat. I know we're heavy already, but I don't want to be held back by a lack of rabbit meat. We'll probably be held back by a lack of ptarmigan instead, but worst comes to worst, we'll have extra rabbit for snacking. Nope, you heard nothing. That's right. It was all the wind. There. Okay, we probably better process this first. Man, I'd been doing so well focusing on hunting predators. My deer, rabbit, and ptarmigan kill counts, for the first, first 500 days were actually pretty low. And then the 1,000-day achievement came by. I thought, well, gosh, how am I going to spend that time? And as it turns out, bullying rabbits and bok-boks is part of it. Well, I was going to say not deer, but we mostly avoid deer just because they're a pain in the ass. As any Long Dark player would know, even if you have Archery 5, unless your shot lands just so, that deer is going to take your arrow and it's going to run, halfway to Cleveland. Okay, here you go, Astrid. One more tunnel and we are there. Now, we do only have the one torch. Or maybe 2 torches. So I should probably bust out the old storm lantern. Oh, you never been to this part of the map, Ellie? Wow. Well, yeah. Welcome to the far territory, where everything is, well, far. Like the one unifying characteristic is most everything takes an absolute dog's age to get to. Or at least the interesting bits. But yes, it lives up to the name because you got to go through the branch line and then transfer pass, and not even like all the bits of lower Great Bears. Like there's a reason there's an achievement that involves, going from Desolation Point to Sundered Pass. Excuse me, because it's. I think that is basically one end of the world to the other, and it takes a while. Let's see where there. Wow, 26. Couldn't get those last 26 calories of meat down, huh? All right. Don't let me offend your delicate palate there, Astrid. You took a break around the DLC, so you work it. Ah, okay. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, it'll be there when you're ready. I mean, there's lots to explore, but there's also absolutely no rush. Because other than a couple very certain things, and maybe some achievements, coming out to the far territory is very much a voluntary thing. Like there's nothing, like nothing your in-game life will be incomplete without if you never come here. If I can put it that way. Okay, that's probably enough. In truth, we could probably do this in the dark and then just infer we're walking into something when the clinky, clanky, clinky, clanky stops. But that doesn't exactly make for a good video, though, does it? All right. Well, yeah, it's just a little past noon. We're fine. We're fine. And that, okay, yep, I do believe there's some light right up ahead. You'll love to see it. All right, well, that wasn't so bad.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
We're in the home stretch, Astrid. Trust me. Is it? Are you in a blizzard? It looks like it wants to blizzard. No, don't. Do not pick up stick. Do not pick up stick. We can come back for those. Do not pick up stick. Yeah, how long have we been gone? And is it long enough for... Because, like, last time we came through here, we found, like, one deer, maybe 3 or 4 rabbits, and then a couple flocks of ptarmigans. And it would be super duper handy if they were all back, but I'm not sure we've been gone long enough. But that said, we were gone long enough for that wolf in the previous zone to have respawned. So maybe. Oh, but then again, you gotta remember, whose respawn rates have been cranked up to max and whose haven't. So, oh well. Hmm. All right. Well, yeah. Once we offload our stuff, we can do a quick survey of transfer pass anyway, because we're going to be looking around for firewood. Yeah, there's plenty of sticks about, I'm sure. And again, the game is doing the thing where the ice crackling, or is that ptarmigan song? And we have been like ptarmigan derangement syndrome has been a topic of conversation of late, at least for me. All right. Just my audio senses are so on. It's a hair trigger because I still got that. Even though I know I'm in transfer pass where there are no predators, long may that continue. I've still acknowledge that we're walking around maximally stinky. So we got our head on a swivel. Even though, like, what are we going to get jumped by? A deer? Okay, so no. The first thing we need to do once we've dropped all the various and sundry transportables, we need to do an inventory of the meat, because the meat is going to determine what we do. Like, do I need to go hunting again, or can we make the pies we need with the meat we have? Right? Oh yeah, the rabbits are absolute dynamite, but we're fortunate that they don't hang around the depot. They might sense the remains of their brethren and sistren on us and then get all aggro. And yeah, I think I have picked all the cattails here. Well, no, yeah, okay. I thought I saw a couple, but I'm pretty sure I have. So we are going to need to, be smart and, not not lose well fed before we even go in the damn mine. I mean, yeah, because it was Pickle Lil was in here earlier, saying, so maybe we could do a starvation tactic for all but say the last three or 4 days, if you want to stretch our food even more. But at the same time, that would also be inviting an extra 1% damage per hour when we're already going to be locking in at least like 20 days of fatigue damage. So I don't know. I see the wisdom behind that, but I've planned for mitigating 1% damage. I'm not sure if 2% damage is viable. Okay, you're going to go here. We're going to drop our rabbit meat, thusly. Okay, and then here, we're going to drop all those and all those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. And yeah, there's the moose hide cloak that will be with which we will be passing much time eventually. What do you? Oh yeah, you are gonna take flour and the oil and the peaches. And 6 more guts. More rabbit hides. And another wolf pelt. Beauty. Oh, right. I need to check. Boo. Yeah, you need to go in there. Yay! There's my birch bark. Okay. So I did bring it. Good. So that'll be, yeah, 68 birch bark teas in Potentia. Anything else we want to drop off? Sticks, yes. That's fine. Could touch that up. There, have the last 26 calories. Little crumbs on the front of Astrid's jacket. Well, that's rude. Huh. Well, so much for looking around for wildlife. I guess we'll do our survey. Okay. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.88. 6.73. 7.53. 7.96. 8.24. 8. Okay, yeah, we have all the ptarmigan we need for 11 pies and then some. Next.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 9, 8. Yeah, we have all the rabbit we need. Yeah, the weather says Astrid should get some sleep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. So that tells me, yeah, we only needed 5.5 kilos of each kind of meat for the extra 11. So we could do more. And we clearly have the oil. The question is, do we have the flour? I have 2.2 kilos of flour. And it takes how much? 0.2. Okay, so we have flour for exactly 11 pies. I was going to say I'd like to do more, but no can. Unless we were to go looking for flour somewhere, but why would we do that? I mean, I know why. More pies, more better. But honestly, it's fine. And here's my thinking behind that. We're planning for one a day. We're gonna have one Briar House pie per day in the mine. We're gonna have one peach pie per day in the mine with 2 to spare. I actually have 4 pemmican bars for every day in the mine. So yeah, we might have overpacked there. So now the Briar House, yeah, Briar House is the only one of those 3 that actually restores condition. But, excuse me, all 3 of those, yeah, the Briar House, the peach pie, and the pemmican, all restore energy, the fatigue. And the main drag on our condition during this whole ordeal is gonna be fatigue damage. So that is, and they all do the same. They all do, was it like a 15%? And that's not even including our caffeine pills, which do more. How much more? I'm not sure. I've never used one before, but we know they do more. Okay. While we're here, let's touch this up real quick. Yeah, we might be a little shy on light sources for our time in the mine, but that's okay. We're gonna want some, because even if we're gonna be standing around most of the time, as best I can tell, the only way we're gonna be able to save and spare me from having to do the entire 25 days in one sitting is to find a spot where Astrid can get a sprain. Because that triggers an autosave. And once we're unable to sleep, That's going to be the only way we can, short of giving ourselves an affliction. I really don't want to do that. An intentional sprain is going to be our only way to make the game save. Let's see, what else? Oh, yes, we want to do that. So we are going to want have at least enough torches and or lantern fuel to wander around a bit, do some scouting, and find a spot where I just park, take off the crampons, and then park Astrid until until the cracking salary sound hits. Okay, fine. We do have stims for emergencies, but man, we really don't want to be using stims in a non-emergency. Let's see. Can I coax this blizzard into going away? No. Alright, fine. Okay, well, we'll try one more time. Alright. Just try again tomorrow. Alright, game. Alright. You have your fun. I can take a hint.